What's going on guys, G's Reviews here, and in this video I'm going to be doing an album review of FKA Twigs' latest record, Eusexua. Now, to give a bit of context, I've been looking forward to this album ever since it was first announced, especially because FKA Twigs is one of my favourite pop artists of this generation. I've just found that very few have managed to strike the experimentation with the emotional rawness that she does. From the haunting intimacy of LP1 to the spiritual and almost operatic vibes of Magdalene, I can't help but feel that she's constantly proved and pushed what pop music can be just throughout her career alone. Without a doubt, she's always shown great range, so why does this album just sound so cold? Now, it's not that the songs are bad, and this album looks and sounds cool on the surface, and the problem is that it's all on the surface. And you'll find that deeper that you dig into this album, you find there's more of a focus on aesthetic a lot more than substance. This album leans heavily into this club nightlife aesthetic, although at times it does kind of feel like it's borrowing from something that it doesn't really belong to. It wants to be sweaty, it wants to be free, but somehow it just ends up sounding way too manicured for that. Unfortunately, the end result is an album that sounds a lot more like the soundtrack to an advertising campaign, and not really like the proper club nightlife scene that's trying to be replicated. It just lacks far too much emotion and soul for that. It's just this constant performative coolness that is just trying way too hard, and even though the aesthetic is sharp, there's just no emotion to it. Despite the glossy production, a lot of it sounds pretty dated at times. For example, Girl Feels Good just sounds like a montage track in a 2013 indie romantic film. And unfortunately, this style of production just sounds washed out and doesn't particularly have the same impact that it would have had a decade ago. So yeah, production is just a bit behind the times in my opinion. And for an artist that's so well known for being ahead of the times, I can't help but feel that this album is just an entire step back. Structurally, this album also suffers. The songs follow the same general flow, which makes the whole thing sound very repetitive very fast. There's just so many songs that follow the same structure where they build and build and build, then they peak, and then they just kind of fizzle out. It's like this project is too experimental to be pop music, but at the same time it's too pop to be fully experimental. The end result doesn't really commit to either direction, and it just feels like you're going to unwrap a very neatly and very appealing looking gift with nothing actual substantial inside. That type of flow is really harmful for this album because it ends up feeling so predictable and pretty boring. It just lacks the sense of a journey, and although the songs on here aren't offensively bad, the album as a whole just doesn't land. It's almost sounding more like a playlist of demos at this point. Now, what I do love about this album is when FKA Twigs dials it back and just sings. She has this alternative R&B voice that just has so much sweetness and purity to it. And then for some reason halfway through, she'll just throw in this ultrasonic screech. But yeah, that's another thing. The mood shifts on this thing just feel very abrupt and unnecessary. Like, sure, if you want to add changes to your songs, that's fine, and they gotta be fun, but what this album does is really just do it for the sake of it and for the sake of trying to be weird. Don't get me wrong, I still think FKA Twigs is a very talented visionary artist. She has a great voice, but this project, it just doesn't come together. It's just empty. And on my second listen to this album, I even thought maybe that's the point. Like, I couldn't believe that she would stoop this low, and I thought to myself, maybe this is a concept album, maybe this is a project that's supposed to kind of describe how hollow digital identities are and how what we perform online is nothing like how we are in real life. But this just might be a stretch, and even if this was the case, I wouldn't say the execution of this concept was done very well. Overall, there's no real sense of freedom here, and it constantly mistakes style for substance. I'm still a fan of the artist, but this one just didn't land for me. I'm gonna have to give this one a 4 out of 10. But yeah, that's just what I thought. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this album. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next review.